Okay, so our next case is the company called thredUp. So thredUp is a company that is doing business in the United States, and this is a C2C marketplace specifically for what? Second-hand clothes for babies, girls, boys, teenagers, and also swimming suit, maternity, and blah 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 blah. Okay, so basically your clothes, your shoes, your accessories, and so on and so on. Okay, so basically you can say, okay, this is a C2C marketplace because people trade second-hand products. This is also a vertical marketplace because you don't like eBay or Amazon that you trade anything, like not like Taobao, all right? You basically just trade second-hand clothes, this particular category. So the story is that the company was founded in 2009. At that moment, it was not so successful because probably it's because it began by focusing on ladies and gentlemen's second-hand clothes. After 1 year, they probably found that it's not a good business, so they switched to focus on babies and children's second-hand clothes. All right, and afterwards, the business becomes more popular and profitable. Okay, so now the question is why that happens. Okay, so whenever we are thinking about this, basically we want to address the difference between this kind of two products. All right, and probably you also believe or agree that, well, it's trivial, right? There can be many reasons. If you are a boy or a girl, or I should call you ladies or gentlemen, if you are an adult, it's not so easy or you are not so likely to purchase second-hand clothes for you, right? Why is that? Because you go to many formal locations, formal places, formal events. It's not very good if that second-hand clothes is not a good one. On the contrary, if you have a baby or if you have a child, they don't really often go to formal events. So it's fine if the clothes is not 100% perfect. So that's one thing. Also, for babies and children's, they are growing fast. So you don't have a reason to buy them always new clothes because that's some kind of wasting your money, right? It's fine to buy them some second-hand clothes because after 6 months, they need to be thrown away. Or if you think about the supply side, if you buy new clothes for babies and children's after 6 months, instead of throwing them away, maybe you want to sell to a C2C marketplace. So for babies and children's, it's easier to get supply regarding second-hand clothes. Regarding ladies and gentlemen's, you don't really throw your dress away frequently, right? So it's not so easy to get supply. So basically, all this difference may explain why regarding second-hand clothes it's easier to do babies and children's. So what's the point here? The thing that I want to talk about in this particular case is about quality uncertainty and quality risk. So they look similar, but they are not the same thing. So first, whenever you go to a C2C marketplace, when you want to buy some product, you know you are uncertain about the quality. Okay? Quality uncertainty exists for both ladies and gentlemen's clothes and babies and children's clothes. So for either category, you do have product quality uncertainty. All right? You are not sure about that particular second-hand clothes from a boy or gentleman, a lady, or a baby in any case. However, the risk is different. If you are talking about the second-hand clothes for ladies and gentlemen, buying a bad one has a high risk. Buying a bad one is really bad because that clothes becomes useless. But if you are talking about babies and children's second-hand clothes, that risk is low because it's lower in some sense. Because if that product is not so good, it's still somewhat useful. All right? So what makes it different is the quality risk instead of quality uncertainty. If you are going to sell a product with high quality risk, it's going to be very difficult if you do it as a multi-sided platform, because it's so difficult for you to convince consumers that the product is okay. Consumers would be hesitate to buy this product. If you really want to sell products with high quality risk, maybe you should consider doing a merchant. Use your own personnel to buy in products, do some checks, make sure that the products are okay before you put them onto the shelf. Use 1 year, 2 years, 3 years careful in operations to let people be convinced that your second-hand product is really okay. If the quality risk is high, maybe doing a merchant is a better idea. Okay, so that's about the quality risk issue. So as another example, if you are selling stationery, okay, if you are selling stationery, maybe you would consider C2C marketplace because it's fine for someone to buy a broken pen. But if you are selling milk, I guess you're not going to have a C2C marketplace because no one is going to take the risk of buying a broken or perished milk. All right, so that's the difference regarding quality risk.